And then I just take my leave.
In honor of you, Trent, I did play position 4 silencer yesterday. We lost.
Yes,
just so you know.
Could have deduced that.
Did it last too long?
Was it versus a Bristol?
No.
Doesn't count then.
Okay. No, it was just
a free win.
Blind silencer pick.
I see.
Not
Did
good.
you go like the Treads drums build, right click boy?
Did
you go?
No, I went 4 staff Atos Hurricane Pike. It was just okay.
Remaining.
I see. Well,
thanks, Trent.
No problem, buddy. I got you.
Nyx Assassin. I'm calling it right now.
that's very possible.
It's a solid opener. I love it.
Guys, do you remember when I talked a lot about Valky playing 115 games of Dota 2?
Yes.
And then he picked that axe. He was 8-0. He was carrying the game, and they lost 2 games anyways.
Yes.
I feel like today Valky is going to deliver because he had 115 games. He chilled a little bit. Now he only has 101 games. So he actually followed Tiba's advice. He chilled a little bit. You know, he spent some time with his dog. Maybe he made some pancakes. And now he's focused. He's sharp. And he's going to probably pick Darkseer right now. Let's see.
The question is, which fruit topping did he choose for the pancakes? Blueberries, so much better than bananas. I will die on this hill. Don't at me.
I'm not a banana guy. I like banana bread. Banana cake.
Bananas are okay, but they're not my favorite.
Why aren't strawberries ever in this discussion? Because they're clearly the best pancake topping.
Now, I will give a close runner-up to strawberries.
I think they're
something
overrated,
about the
but they're good.
blooms.
So you've just never had, au naturel Nova Scotian strawberries, okay?
I think
maybe.
Not these giant Californian things, all right? I'm talking real strawberries, sweet.
I personally
actually
think
delicious.
Blooms
not
go
all
better
green
with
and
maple
white on the
syrup.
inside and flavorless.
Do you like strawberries with maple syrup better than blueberries, Trent? Because that's my main issue. When you're talking about just the cakes.
Times 1,000.
Really?
I mean, I'm just not that much of a blueberry guy, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm
Are you
more
a
of
boysenberry guy, though? Because that's the real jam. You don't hear about boysenberries anymore, but what am I? They're like
I don't even know what that is.
They're like a
Is it like a
blackberry's
blackberry?
cousin. Yeah, it's close to a blackberry.
Oh, wait, is that what you guys call currants?
Maybe. Go to Sweden and get you some lingonberries, dude. That's the real good shit.
I heard that name. That's
lingonberries.
I like the way it sounds.
That's
it's
the Swedish classic.
The raspberry and the blackberry. Okay, no, this is not what I thought you were talking about.
The lingons are kind of like a cranberry. They're like small cranberries. They're pretty good, though. You eat them with mashed potatoes. I'm a big fan. It's like Thanksgiving
I bet
dinner.
Hoodwink would do it. would pick
there you
berries.
She'd be a Vegemite kind of gal, though. I don't know, mate. I'm out. Now, I'm also out on this 4th pick Lifestealer. I don't understand what we're doing here. Why is this better than Juggernaut, Trent?
Radiant team.
That is a good question. I guess.
And like, was Lifestealer going to get banned?
So when you have the Mobile 4, the Lifestealer can infest that guy, and Juggernaut doesn't have that aspect. So that's pretty cool.
That is true.
Yeah.
However, we haven't seen many Lifestealers win with that aspect, so you are missing Healing Ward. Just to kind of talk about the trade-offs there, but you're right.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know, man. I love Lifestealer in my solo queue, but in these pro games, I still can't really wrap my head around it.
Pick Luna or Lifestealer, which one would you pick for a pro game? Do you
Probably
still
Luna.
think
Oh,
Luna?
Lifestealer.
I
seriously take Luna over Lifestealer?
I don't know. I'm getting to this
Lifestealer is
point
good.
with Lifestealer where is it just the SA sample that we've seen? Is he like slaying it in other regions?
I just find that the hero's actually legit, and he actually counters stuff, and he's active, and he needs a team built around him, but so does Luna.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess they're similar like that.
Like, just give this guy some stuns, and he'll slay. He just does so much damage.
I think Zyor's problem is that he probably thinks Juggernaut is better than Lifestealer, so not why Juggernaut. And I think he might have a point.
Well, statistically, Lifestealer has a 53% win rate in DPC Season 2, and Juggernaut only has a 51.24.
In SA DPC. Hit me with the South America. I want to know if I'm crazy, because I feel like Lifestealer's been losing a lot.
No, you're
in
not
SA.
crazy. I think Lifestealer's been great in SA.
All right, give me a guess on the percent.
In SA, 35.
41.
All right. 35, 41. Lifestealer, 25%.
Okay, so
4 and 8.
My memory is right. Every time we see him in SA, it just feels like the hero should be good on paper. We hype it up. We talk about item builds, and then he just falls over like a pigeon.
And then he gets
Dead
vipered.
Since we're talking about percentages, though, Gorillaz-Pride with this Viper, guys. Do you want to know what's the win rate of Gorillaz-Pride with Viper?
It's 75.
It's positive. I mean, some people would say it's positive. It's 0. They lost every single game. Cat played this Viper 5, and I was very impressed with Panda playing the Viper. But when I see Panda play, he gets first blood. It feels like he gets a lot done in the lane. But when Cat was playing it, he was 0 and 5 most of the time. And this hero, it's not like an Oracle. You can die 5 times in lane as an Oracle. You still can ult someone.
Yeah,
Viper is he's pretty much a wing bot. He doesn't do
you gotta play him a little, kind of like some Yaps Zorian Dota. That's how you gotta play that position 5 Dota or Viper. You gotta Slardar. You gotta find the space. You gotta resist the urge to feed. It works if you can maintain tempo, but if you fall behind, you're just useless. It doesn't.
True.
No, I like Slardar against Lifestealer, though. This is really brutal.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know what you do as Lifestealer against Slardar. He just has better options. You trade back and forth, and he pummels you.
This is exactly where your discussion of Jug versus Lifestealer comes into play, because they banned Medusa, Timber, and Razor. I mean, those are pretty good bans for a Lifestealer, but then they still just got Viper Slardard. So, maybe that's why Jug sees a little bit more success.
Yeah,
because
he has
heroes
more
that ruin your game.
Wow. Right now,
he has
the
a little bit more advantage.
Twitch chat predictions are 99% in favor of Gorillaz-Pride. Not a lot of Latam Defender fans.
And they're 5 minutes
today.
behind.
Jeez. Yeah, that's
that's true.
I don't know if I've ever
real
seen
surprise.
it. 99%. It's 240 channel points versus 30,000.
Wow.
Anyway, I digress. Shout out to you guys in Twitch chat. Happy Saturday.
Yes, welcome. It's good to have y'all.
So how do you counter the Slarda boy, guys? What do you pick here?
Well, I think this might end up being a Veno 5. Now that I see the
other bird. Okay.
I actually think you could get away with Veno 5 versus the Slardar. Try and save that lane. Either that or you go Witch Doctor next.
All right, guys. You want to hear
I like the
my
Witch Doctor
prediction
better.
here?
I want a core Veno. What's your prediction, bud?
So,
10 seconds
they had this
remaining.
Tiny, all right? You pick Tiny, Nyx, Assassin, which in theory is a terrible opener because
5 seconds
they
remaining.
Nyx is a 4, which is a position that Tiny usually flex with. So in my head, especially after that Slardar pick, I think they might have been preparing a Tiny carry because this guy has a lot of armor. Lifestealer only does physical damage, and a lot of physical damage from the Tiny with the Slardar. But then you pick the Visage, which has a very low cooldown attack speed slow that actually makes Tiny feel like trash. So I usually don't like the Visage pick itself, especially this early. But it might actually counter some sneaky carry Tiny that Gorillaz-Pride was trying to pull off.
It's also just the plight of Latam defenders because they don't have 10th pick. So they're forced to go for the Visage with at least one left.
Yes.
Because it's getting banned, first off. And there's no point trying to wait for it, too. So,
Exactly.
They rely pretty heavily on this cheesiness. And they'll just ban a couple 5s that can dispel.
They didn't ban Troll.
Looks pretty
That
good here.
stands out
PA
for
still
GP.
in versus Lifestealer. Why wouldn't you just PA?
Okay.
I mean,
PA,
it's versus a
that's another
Veno
good one.
as well. I think they're definitely just going to PA.
Seconds remaining.
The only downside is they don't have a dispel. So that makes PA slightly worse. But I mean, that kind of applies to any carry you're going to pick into Veno and Earth Spirit.
Mm-hmm. I think it really depends on how Gorillaz wants to play. I think. Oh, they
Nice
did
one,
ban the Wyvern.
Zyori.
Wait, I did say Wyvern.
Oh,
Yeah, it
I'm
was
sorry.
Bowie.
I thought it was Zyori. My bad. Nice one, Bowie. Way to go. Woo!
Thank you.
Suck it, 9th pick, Zyori.
I was busy talking about Troll Warlord. Now, our Latam
I
defenders
think it's very
here.
possible they get it.
Ooh, Phoenix.
Birdie bird.
Wow.
More attack speed slow. That's actually really good versus Slardar, right? You don't usually think about it, but since it's off lane, it's will take a long time until he has a BKB. So you have Fire Spirits and the Q from Visage.
Choose your
That was a fast one.
Weaver, huh?
That was a good
A
answer.
lot of
with
minus
the
armor.
Phoenix.
So that's interesting.
Vision as well.
It's kind of cool with the Slardar. So our 5 Viper, a mid-tiny, off-lane Slardar. It is a Valky Veno, so that'll be the 3.
They got no stuns versus 3 heroes that stun on Gorillaz-Pride. They have
I gotta go
roll.
GP here, gents.
Like,
This is going to be another classic South American Lifestealer game, like to a T. I can see it already. We're going to see this na Visage. It's going to look good after the lane, get level 6, move around, do what Visage does. They're going to slaughter some tier 2s. They're going to maybe take a tier 3 tower. Then they're going to make a big mistake. Greedy's going to get a big crush, and then they're going to fall apart. Cuckahook's going to lose his momentum, and the Latam defenders will fall at 35 minutes. I can see it. I'm having a vision right now, Trent.
When I look at the lanes here, I see a Lifestealer versus Slaughter, which is a super hard matchup for the Lifestealer. Then on the other side, you have a Venomancer that is countered by a Weaver, since the slow is not going to matter against the Sukuchi. The only lane that I think Latam defenders can win is actually middle, because the attack speed slow versus Tiny is insane. I think Tao is going to lose like a lot of last hits. But the problem is, a lot of times Nana wins the lane with Visage, which is kind of hard, and he doesn't play the mid game that well. So it's all on Nana. If he can carry this, Latam has a chance, but I'm going G-Pride.
It just seems like the Visage is so hard to maintain momentum with. I don't know what it is about this hero. Because, like you say, he is a really good Visage player.
Yeah, the long cooldown on the birds, I think. Like, if you just lose the birds once, it's kind of like Lone Druid, right? But I think the birds are easier to die than the bear, and they also do a little bit less.
Well, I mean, they have one style, and they do actually play it well occasionally for the defenders. They should know what they're doing with this, so... they got to keep that momentum up, right? It's really their only option. I definitely agree that G-Prides have a straight up better draft. So, but I'm always looking to be impressed by the defenders and their Visage playstyle. It's nice to have someone who mixes it up. So good luck, no.
All right.
All right. Well, let's see if they can do it. My Dota client crashed, so I don't know if we're loaded in, if we've got a pause, or what else is going on. So there you go. Gary, Theban, game number 1. It's Saturday. Are we excited to be casting Dota yet again?
Yeah, as always, Ori. Yeah, definitely. I mean, looking at this draft as well, G-Pride, I would have to agree with the panel out in the front, but the defenders, they've got a lot of toxic damage over time. These team fights could look a little bit messy, Theban, couldn't they? Never mind.
30 seconds to battle.
I think we've lost Theban for a little bit. We'll bring him back, though, as we get ourselves out into the game. One of the best of 3. Crack onto the laning stage and spot out the Nyx Assassin, who's already harassing the Phoenix back away from that top spot. Got some early wards coming down as well in that top lane, just behind the tier 1 tower. So Nyx Assassin is going to have a pretty good time dragging waves if he wants to, sniping out some couriers if that's what he chooses to go for. As a bit of a contest bottom. Cat, RGS, so they're coming into the bottom rune. Quick little gale out from Valky, but they secure up 3 bounties, and actually it looks like 4. Greedy's going to take both of the top ones. Great early start for the G-Pride side. And this smart Nyx Assassin, he's just sticking on the Phoenix. Doesn't go for dive level 1. Always a problem when we see that. Sticks with the Fiery Spirits. And does trade back at least a little bit.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up, Gareth?
How you doing, buddy? Right.
I'm doing great, dude.
This draft from Latam defenders, I was sat there for like the entirety of it, just sitting and thinking, Lifestealer, I don't like it. Venomancer, picking it early on against a lane you don't know what's going on. And then right at the end, Angel? Okay, Fairy Fires. Right at the end, I'm looking at it thinking, in a 5v5 team fight with Poison Nova, Magnetize, Supernova, Fiery Spirits, and Visage Birds on you, there's a lot of shit you've got to deal with.
Yes, and I think they do have that going for them, because Lauder is usually a hero that's not going to buy a pipe, right? This hero wants Blink Dagger, wants BKB, kind of a greedy sort of guy. So it's a lot of defenders, they don't get stumped in the lanes. There's definitely some potential to their team fight. What I'm scared about, though, is that, Phoenix is not even in the lane right now. And their lanes are hard, so they're going to have to play really well. I think besides Cat, everyone is playing on their preferred servers, so it's probably going to be, a decent chance for the defenders.
So there's no metagaming, no leeway with
Yes.
the pings or anything like that. That's fair enough.
Exactly.
But that's a good point, though. Yeah, Slaughter doesn't want to buy those kind of team buff items necessarily early on. Anyway, he wants that ability to jump onto people.
Even heroes that are not that greedy usually only buy the hood, right? Very rare we're seeing dispatch players
Or
like
Valky.
but oh yeah.
The kill on the Venom and maybe onto Moonlight as well.
Oh, man.
He's still
This
level
is-
1 on Earth Spirit. Oh, that's a lane you need to be dominating in, but yeah, being run out already.
This is why we usually, at least, only see the Venomancer as a response to heroes like Ursa, right? You don't want to pick Veno before you see the matchup because you can get Weavered, you can get, there's a couple of heroes that really just destroy your Venomous Gale because it's your only defensive and offensive spell.
And they have no choice to just come back down to this bot lane and try the aggression again.
Yeah.
Weaver just going to Shikuchi away. Yeah, it's real dangerous for them. And as this game progresses and we get some levels up on these heroes, the Radiant, they've got a lot of minus armor that can actually stack up and kill off these heroes very quickly. Like you look at Phoenix, you look at Venomancer, a lot of these guys don't have that much armor, and they're going to have to build into armor items to contend with Corrosive Haze, the Swarm, the bugs.
Exactly.
Damage coming out from the right clicks as Moonlight, Valky, they're going to close in onto Cap. We've seen this problem a fair amount out of the Viper players. Getting stuck trying to pull or contest pulls, and Viper just can't move.
Yeah, he's a slow guy. And as a 5, you don't usually get that much gold for the move speed items anyways. I think Panda, the reason Panda does so well with this year is that he's a master of trading. I think in almost every game I've seen him get first blood or kills in the lane. If you don't get those kills, I think there's a reason why Viper 5 isn't as popular as Panda makes it look.
It's very much a laning hero, right? It's a laning pos 5. I think you mentioned the Oracle. Even in the mid to late game, you can ulti someone. You can do something to swing a fight with just one of your spells. Viper, not so much. He has to dominate in that first 10 minutes or so to make his pick actually worthwhile.
Oh, looks like there is a rotation here middle.
Yeah, Earth Spirit trying to find a home for himself, but that leaves the Venomancer isolated bottom. And Weaver Shikuchi's over him, puts a bit of damage towards it, and Tau, it looks like he's playing reasonably safe with the wave on his hilltop. I'll try the roll though, kicking back into the Visage. Tau has an avalanche and a toss into the tower.
Nice
Moonlight. He's stuck under the tower and he's dying quickly. Tau gets the takedown. He will lose his life though as Nanana's final hit connects.
Okay, that's decent, especially because he's gonna have both runes.
Yeah, it looks like Nanana's gonna be rushing that Orchid again. You reckon? He's gonna pick up a null.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think about it. I feel like
So's
he's
he.
really good versus Weaver, but I'm afraid he might get bursted by the Tiny. I wonder if he might go for something a little bit more defensive.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah, he swapped through a bunch of items there. He's like, do I want boots? Do I want to go medallion? Do I want this Orchid Rush? He brings out the birds. Hits level 6. Yeah, Tau. What is he? A few creeps away from it. But the roll back in from Moonlight. Not quite landing, and they've kicked the boulder at Tau. A bit of chain stun from the familiars. This is really just harassment while down and bottom. Again, that point being that RGS and Cat can shove Valky out of the lane. A 9 CS Venomancer 5 minutes in, feeling really rough for them. I mean, just look at the CS board, Bowie. I mean, Radiant, they're dominating all across, aren't they?
Earth's bounty.
Hello! How are you doing? Thank you, Bowie. Well, I've got the kickback on Tower in the mid lane. And they're just sticking around. They're 2v1ing him. Tower's going to get the toss. He's got bottle charges. He's fine. Yeah, they 2v1 the Tiny. He doesn't care. They bring Cat and Dismar in now to trade back into them.
Well, Gary, you're gonna have to fill me in a little bit on what happened in this first 4 minutes. I see a big 2,000 gold lead for G-Pride here. I had a little bit of an emergency. Sorry about that, Bowie. Thank you for stepping in.
I mean, it's basically Venomancer and Earth Spirit died bottom. And then Earth Spirit couldn't lane there anymore. Now Moonlight has been mid lane for the past 4 minutes, and he's just dying there anyway. So now Cat's rotated in. They're going to get the Tiny jump onto the Visage. He's got Gravekeepers at 2, so he's not going to get burst down immediately. But it's just been a solid lane win situation for G-Pride. You know, Slaughter against Lifestealer, they've got this Weaver against the Venomancer, so everybody else is freely flowing wherever they want to.
Right, they got that double stun in this top lane, which is really good against the Lifestealer and the Phoenix too. You see Fire Spirits, Spike Carapace.
A nice roll back in. Angel gonna dive across, disengage away from Greedy, who is being hunted by the Lifestealer, raged up and trying to bring him down, but a good Fairy Fire and Crush slows the damage, and that Impale from Dismar. All Greedy, still very low with the Fire Spirits on him under the tower. Is that enough regen? Moonlight says no and shuts him down. While Dismar's Nyx Assassin still looking to slip away. Yeah, Valky under the trees is looking pretty worse for wear, but Moonlight comes out with a double kill as Cat's rotated in now. A tree toss. Oh, it's following him. He smokes, and he's not going to drop to it. The end of those poison attacks means he's just about fine on Moonlight. Well, Cat's now moved himself into an awkward spot. Under the Nether Toxin, Lifestealer. Oh god, he's got to pop the rage.
I think Cocohook did not want to do that one. I mean, this Viper is so strong already. Just being able to run from bottom to mid to top now. Oh, nice gank here with the toss.
Yeah, beautiful little toss in. That's Nana down, who had been unkilled. He got a couple of pickoffs on Tiny early on. So shutting down and delaying his first item, super important for them.
Yeah, Greedy just being middle after that death top. That was a really good play on his end to see the opportunity to toss in. It's very different than the last time we saw G-Pride play, right? Greedy just kind of played on his own in the 2 games. This time around, he's getting active early on. I love seeing this from him.
This poor Venomancer.
Again.
He's barely getting any CS. Yeah, he's just dying over and over again. I mean, Dismar wasn't really even needed there. They were wrapping around really nicely with the Nyx Assassin. But it's just the Weaver that kills him.
I mean, the Venomancer has only been really a good hero when you have a good purpose for in the laning stage. If there's a Weaver, then this Venom is always going to feel very bad. Can't really utilize that Poison Sting or the slows from his spells. When the Weaver is level 6, he can also heal up some of that damage as well. And he's looking gigantic right now with that Javelin Power Treads 8 minutes in.
Yeah, and he's been left alone, so he's got level 8 as well.
He's changed lanes.
The fact that they're... Yeah. I mean, it was a bit of a weird Veno pick. And they do get the jump on the Visage. DD Rune Tiny. Oh my god, that slap down. I mean, once you burst through the Gravekeeper's cloak stacks, right? He's not as tanky as he initially looks. Cocohook, Angel, Valky. I mean, the 3 dire heroes up here still looking to run away. Don't want to get engaged in a long team fight.
To be fair though, Gary, Nana must have expected a result like this, right? Picking Visage into the Viper? Like, the Nether Toxin destroys his Gravekeeper's cloak. Not only to remove his passive, but also to destroy his stats, like the stacks as well.
There was
like
a lot of that in the draft. So I think it was 3rd pick Veno, 4th pick Visage, into the Tiny, the Viper, and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's very awkward to see this from Nana right now. And if your team has a bad start like this on Latam defenders, it's very hard for a Visage to get active early on. He's gonna have to focus on his own farm and try to make some 5-man plays later on. But G-Pride, they have this like short cooldown lineup or top lane.
They're trying to TP out. Cat will gladly give his life to that 3-man rotation. Poison Over used up as well, so a pretty long cooldown just to kill off the Cat's Viper. And they're still keeping the pressure on, you know, mid lane. Argis nearly has his Maelstrom down bottom. And it just feels like Latam defenders, they really are scrambling to find any kind of foothold in this match.
Yeah, it looks like Greedy just running back mid again, the same thing he did last time. Because he did go to base, and they want to hunt Nana now. This is actually the perfect hero for them to kill.
I like this, yeah. Good build from the Slaughter as well, just like treads, raindrops, little bits and bobs. Then the Blink Dagger's coming. Because we were talking about how Slaughter doesn't really like to buy the tanky aura items, the pipes, the greaves, and stuff like that. Cat getting dived on again. It's the only hero that the defenders can actually try and kill. But in comes Weaver, gets a trade. That's going to pay off for them.
Oh,
a great stun from Dismar into the trees. Yeah, the creep spotted out the Venomancer. So, yeah, 2 for 1. Every day of the week.
Great. Amazing rotation from the Weaver. I mean, that's just Viper baiting it out. They also got the Catapult middle, breaking this mid tower. They're going to have a Catapult top, going to pressure that top tower too. I can totally see Greedy or Tal just rotating towards the top side, helping the Weaver secure that objective after this one middle. They're going to try to defend here.
Yeah, some good familiar stuns. And the magnetizes up from Moonlight Tower with
That's
a
it, no more
TP.
stuns.
Successfully home, and Greedy got the tower.
That's all they have in their lineup, right? Rolling Boulder, 2 Visage Birds. How else are you gonna stun them? With the Supernova? Oh man.
It's so difficult. That's like the 3rd time we've seen that. Tiny's TP'd out of danger. Slardar's TP'd out of top twice, I think he has. They just use that teleportation as invulnerability almost. The Moonlight is going to break up the high ground. That staircase, a dangerous zone to be in as he's crushed, bashed. Good kickback, but the roll stopped by Dismar's Nyx. And a killing spree taken away from the Earth Spirit as they immediately vendetta and look for their bonus kills.
Yeah, Latin defenders, they realized that the Weaver, they can't kill him. They don't have any disables for him, so they wanted to go bottom, try to apply some kind of pressure themselves. G-Pride realizing Weaver can take the top tower on his own, go there with Slaughter, intercept them, and Latin defenders, they're out of moves now. The top and mid is dead. They can't attack bottom. Slaughter's just chilling bottom. Gonna pressure that tower. It's almost dead too. 400 health left. They need to do something desperately. This is why Moonlight with the smoke is ready to go. Might get popped on Dismar though. Okay, he ran the other way on Nyx.
And there's also the fact that it's a lifestealer, right? Lifestealer armor, he wants to be active. They don't have that safety net of a Medusa or even Juggernaut,
exactly.
something like the panel mentioned early on, right? As a 2nd pick lifestealer, they could have maybe gone for the Jugger, who offers you the ability to go Battle Fury, Maelstrom, whatever it may be, to accelerate and scale into the late game. It's a rough one here for them.
It's just crazy how this one Weaver is essentially countering all 3 cores of Latam defenders.
Yeah.
And
the Phoenix.
Yeah, and the Phoenix. It just feels awful for them. Like, I never would have said the Weaver is the hardest carry on the map. But in this game, you can say that.
Just another TP out.
Yep.
It's just another TP out. He's dipped from that bot lane. Like, we'll get an objective. Oh, they're coming in to fight. There's 5 Latam defenders down here. Blink toss. There's a reveal out of Tiny. He blows up Valky. A corrosive haze thrown onto the Earth Spirit, and they can start filtering down here as Greedy. He wants to get in on top of them as they drop the Supernova on the Tiny's head. A quick toss and avalanche. Moonlight looking pretty dead with a vendetta strike. They get him. Egg does drop though, and Argius, he's found the Supernova stun you were joking about. It works out on the Weaver. Oh, I can't believe that's happened, but Tiny's going to clear up another. Phoenix drops, and it's going to be cleanup time. Nana stuck here between Greedy Dismar with a nice little Viper strike arriving. I'll pick off the Visage, and Tau gets another kill, jumping deep with that Arcane Rune, just spamming out spells. Familiar's fallen, and Latam defenders just crumbling around that tower.
And they did get the Weaver, that is fair. I think Argius is, I don't know, he made a poor decision to just run in there when the Supernova was already like halfway done, right? He's like, oh, I'm gonna kill this thing with all my attack speed. It still had like 2 more hits left. And very unfortunate for him, but his team still comes out on top. You know, the Sodar plus Tiny just do so much damage themselves. Once we see the Echo Saber coming out from the Tiny, I feel like any hero who gets Corrosive Haze, if they're at like 1500 health, they will just straight up die. Tombo, double right click, they're just dead. And he's got a DD2 right now on in his bottle.
Oh boy.
Yep.
I guess, you know, we were talking about Nanana's item decision. This Visage, we've seen him go a lot for that Orchid build. And he had some struggles early on. We saw him, you know, switching his items in his quick buy quite a lot. And it looks like he's gone Medallion into Aghanim Scepter. Needed that armor. Dismar, going to set up onto Moonlight. Poison overthrown in, and a dive from Angel straight towards the tower. Tiny. And they're just going to bleed out here. Sure, you've got damage over time, but the Radiant are tanky enough to withstand that. Going to dot damage. Familiar Bird getting caught up. Trying to stop the Tau blink, but they don't get the job done. He's straight on the Visage. No. Slowed down. Getting burst. Honestly, this has felt like game over since the draft ended. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, I mean, once you see this Weaver into those 3 heroes, you're like, well, and then you got the Sodar to buff up the Weaver too. This is just feeling like the perfect game for G-Pride right now. This is like one of those mind control drafts, Gary. That's what this is.
No, you're right. You're right. It's like, we know you're going to pick Visage. We've already counted him with the first pick Viper. You're going to pick Veno to try and stop our Ursa or, you know, with our melee carries. We've already got the Weaver pre-planned. We're just going to last pick the Weaver. No problem.
Every time we've seen this, like, Veno pre-pick has been absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Like you have to pick it later. You have to pick it to counter something.
Well, now Weaver has Aegis. Lifestealer Infest Bomb. It pops out onto Dismar. Next Assassin, he wands up. Surviving through a lot of that initial onslaught. Does drop. Trading out, though, for so many additional kills. The Visage is being hunted by the Weaver. Argus with the Maelstrom strikes now, looking for Valky's Venno. And Viper, is he going to die? I mean, they'll take down all the cores apart from Lifestealer, and Viper doesn't even drop to him. It's a level 10 Viper and a level 11 Lifestealer. There's like not a massive difference between the two.
And it's got 4 staff on Viper too. He's just so happy. And Lifestealer not going to be pressured up by the Weaver. He can just hunt him across the map. Won't care. What you gonna do, Kakao? He can TP out? No, he's gonna TP out right away before Sada gets here.
Is that a bash? He had the 3 stacks up.
Yeah.
It was close.
He's gotta get a Blink Dagger on Greedy. He went for the Pipe first because of the Venno, Phoenix, Earthsphere. Like all the heroes of Latin defenders that actually do damage right now is magical. So makes a lot of sense. But a Blink, as soon as he gets a Blink, no one's gonna be able to come out on the map for Latin defenders.
Yeah, especially paired up with that Tiny, who, like you said, has Echo Saber now. So as soon as they see somebody, Corrosive Haze, Echo Saber, Swarm, this minus armor starts building up.
You know, you were talking about this Orchid on the Visage. Wow, they can't even catch Dismar.
It doesn't look like it. He's fine. He's actually just fine. They're rolling deep in onto it, but the TPs are arriving. Tiny jumps on the Phoenix, blows him up. Dismar's still perfectly alive. And now the chase towards the Venomancer. Corrosive Haze and 2 hits. It's not been a good game for him. 174 on Valky, 4,700 net worth, really down in the dumps, bottom of the cores.
They really thought the Venno was going to be enough for the Tiny and the Sada, but the Venom's got to be able to lane against a hero that he can destroy. And that's where things are really wrong here for Latin defenders in that lane. And like you were talking about the Orchid on the Visage, right? Like it would have been a really good answer, to be fair, because Earthsphere rolling, you Orchid, you slow, you can get enough burst damage. But no, just can't even get to that Orchid while his team is just getting destroyed everywhere.
Yeah, there's not enough time. Well, also Cuckahook, he's gone for early game items, but early game's broken down. We're basically, well, I mean, it's 18 minutes in. We've been in late game for like 3 minutes now, haven't we? The way G-Pride are playing and itemizing, it's basically late game at this point.
Late game started 5 minutes into this game.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Man. And yeah, they got pretty fast. They got that Roshan pretty early on, so second Rosh is going to be up reasonably soon. Still got that Aegis for another couple of minutes, of course, on the Weaver. And Dismar, oh, he's looking. Anyone that comes down these staircases.
The problem here is just like, you know, it's still kind of early in the timer-wise. You can't go high ground right away. You got to still get these outside objectives. It would be nice to just see, like, let's say a Weaver bottom pushing these 2 towers and everybody else playing around middle and just like being able to run top or bot wherever Latin defenders move. Because the Weaver himself is never going to die. And he can connect to you very easily because of Shikuchi.
Yeah.
So, but the way they're positioned on this map, it's like kind of giving Lifestealer farm on the map. And they're not really, you know, forcing Latin defenders to leave the base.
At some point, do you reckon they'll have enough damage to kill heroes, though?
No.
Like Magnetize, Fire Spirit, Supernova, Poison. Like, if they get a Veil.
No. That's the problem. They don't have any burst damage, right? They can't trade like hero for hero. That's the only way you can really come back into a game. They have all this, you know, sustain damage over time stuff. And then G-Pride have burst damage. So whoever doesn't cast spells or whoever gets jump burst is going to get eliminated. You don't have that in your sources of damage output anymore, which Latin defenders need every little bit.
And it's physical burst damage, which always feels like it scales much better into the late game as well. Yeah, got a hook. Have they got the bashes? A couple of hits to come. And there it is, to stop the TP. Toss Gradient towards him. They miss a couple of stuns, but Cuckahook is trying to infest into Little Tomato. Held there, claps on the ground. Cuckahook, 4 seconds for Rage. Armor toggles on, but the final touch from Greedy finishes him off while the Phoenix is forced to dive away. The Maelstrom hit. Oh, it comes out long range from the Weaver. Zaps him down.
Yeah, they're just going for the last objective here on the map.
Dire's bottom tower.
At least they have
Just under a
Tiny.
minute.
He kills buildings pretty fast. Just get a shard.
That's true.
Dire's
just keep
bottom
whacking those
tower
objectives.
has fallen.
Weaver's Age is going to expire in, what, 30 seconds now. Maybe a window for the defenders to smoke, make a play, get out on the map and do something. But G-Pride have been very, very tight, playing together, not giving any real targets out there for the defenders to jump onto. And they're hunting for Moonlight. They saw him take this outpost.
Scanning.
They know he's around here somewhere. They ping him, they've seen him. They've got the Avalanche. No blink on Slardar yet, so a roll away should secure the safety of Moonlight's Earth Spirit. Viper's
They're
got to be a
going
bit
out
careful.
bottom. Yeah, they see so many heroes top, they go out bottom. They just don't have the catch though. It's because the Earth Spirit was the one being chased out top. Actually, he got caught out top.
Oh, he did! Tossed around.
Yeah. And
They
without
don't even
him,
catch anyone bottom.
they don't have any catch bottom exactly without that Earth Spirit.
Now Angel, yeah, they're just falling apart. Come out of their base. I mean, they've got to know that Aegis has been expiring, and they wanted to make something out of it. Nananar's now being pinged out. Tau is going to connect onto him. The Gale misses. Doesn't land on the Tiny. He looks like it saves Nananar anyway as he gets back to his high ground. But they've been herded into their base like little lambs. The shepherd of G-Pride. Just pushing them into the pen. And soon comes the slaughter.
Roshan, 2 more minutes before I can be up again. I mean, Latin
There's no
defenders
rush.
right now, they're just kind of going through the motions, just hoping that G-Pride will make some kind of error here.
It doesn't feel like that's happening though. It's just been very, very steady from G-Pride this game. I think you made a good point earlier on, speaking about Greedy and the way he was playing in that. In that previous series, he was very disconnected from his team. And who was that?
Exactly.
I guess Inverse, wasn't it? No, Inverse played well, but it felt Greedy wasn't really on the same page. This
On
time
the
around,
Darks here in the Nature's Prophet. Mhm.
yeah, much better this time around.
I think they must have like watched a replay and seen the mistakes that they were making, and they were like talking about, okay, you know, you got to be more active. You got to do this. You got to do that. You can't just AFK and farm when your support and your mid are the only ones making plays on the map. Look how much better it feels when your offlaner is getting involved.
Yeah.
And especially playing with his mid laner.
Do you think he's gone?
It's just so much better.
Well, they're trying to kick off a fight here. Cat 4 staffs away. Got a magnetize and a lifestealer going in, but the jump into the back, it's huge from Greedy. With that Weaver, they shred through Angel, Nananar, back onto Valky as well. It's another roll in, they've lost the Viper, but a slow clap there for the Lamb defenders. Oh, costly! And GG is called, yeah, it's been a long time coming. RG is going to finish out with a triple kill.
I think I spent more time in the bathroom than this game.
Yeah, well, we spent about the same time on the draft as that game. Okay, just quickly on the Greedy point though, do you think this game he went like a little bit too far off the same scale? You know, he previously didn't play with his team, didn't buy team items.
Yeah.
This time he went pipe and drums with like no greediness, no blink. Or is that just the game
it was perfect.
It's perfect. Okay.